Before we dive in, this episode is sponsored by Dice, creators of Bad Choices, the game we're about to embarrass ourselves with in this episode.
That's awesome. They've hooked us up with a unique link to their full collection of party games that we actually enjoy. If you want to play along or cause chaos at your next gathering, use the link in the description. It supports us and gives you something fun to do with your friends. Are there therapists who are sleeping with their patients? Like, is this a thing? Is this happening? Like, I don't know. I just thought that was a
The listeners should
right.
Google
yeah,
research.
if you're sleeping with your therapist, let us know in the comments. That would be. We definitely want that story.
You're listening to Premeditated Opinions because, yes, we thought about it, and then we said it anyway. I'm Pamela.
And I'm Josh, and we are two people who somehow share a brain and decided to weaponize our brains with microphones. Each week, we unpack anything, from politics and religion to carpool dread and everything in between.
You know, it would really help us a lot if you followed us on Instagram and YouTube. Giving us a like and a follow is probably the best thing your thumbs will do today.
We are not experts. We are just way too confident in our own opinions. With all that being said, let's get started. Well, welcome back to Premeditated Opinions, a special episode of Premeditated Opinions, because we're going to do something a little wacky. So we said in our last episode that we just think the world is heavy, and we think that there's always something to be scared about, to kind of work up our insecurities, our fears. And so we wanted to do something that just felt fun and lighthearted and a good time. And one of the things that both of our families really enjoy is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the development of games like Cards Against Humanity and Exploding Kittens and some of these really popular ones, we have kind of been deep diving the selections of card-based games. And boy, we've talked about it a little bit before, but we have just laughed until our stomachs hurt so many times in your living room.
Yeah, so we've done Cards Against Humanity
Mhm.
with expansion packs.
Like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Do You Meme?
Yep. Great one.
New Phone, Who Dis?
Mm-hmm.
And
Terrible Therapist.
Horrible Therapist.
Horrible Therapist. Horrible
Okay,
Therapist.
so we just played that one over the weekend, and it was
Oh, my God.
hilarious.
It's got a couple extra steps than like Cards Against Humanity, but I think it makes it better. Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny. And I
Mhm.
feel like there was one more, it's that red box that was sitting there. Anyway, I know there was one more. I'm not sure we've even played it yet.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Yep.
Yep.
So we have really deep dove the card-based game scene.
Mhm.
And we're going to continue that today. We have, we purchased, just before we started recording, a game called Bad Choices. We have no idea what's in this box,
Nope.
really. We read a couple of the samples on the outside of the box and went, this looks cool. And so, and what I liked about it was, it seems as though this game is a good conversation starter. So the little tagline on the side of the box says, the Have You Ever party game. And so the Have You Ever party game for finding out hilarious truths, secrets, and stories about your friends.
Mm.
So we're going to play this together a little bit. And then what I'd love to do, and we'll figure out how to do this down the road, but it could be a cool way to even end some future episodes when we have guests on and things like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's an idea I had sitting here in this moment. So we can...
That's how most of our
right.
ideas come about.
We can talk about it. But anyway, so we're not necessarily going to play by the rules of this game because we're actually supposed to have 3 or more players. But essentially what's going on here is there are prompt cards. So I'm opening the box now. So in the instructions, the getting started just says the object of the game is to be the first player to discard all of their cards. So we're not going to mess with that right now because there's only 2 of us. But the gameplay is the player to the left of the last person to arrive begins the game. Well, it doesn't matter for us. They choose which one of their bad choice cards they want to use and which player they want to use it on.
Oh.
The object of each turn is to ask a player a question that you think they will say yes to. If they say yes, you get to discard your card in the discard pile. If they say no, you must keep the card and try and use it again later.
Okay, so we're not doing any of that. We're just picking these at random.
We're picking these at random, and we're just going to answer them and give as much context as we feel like we can put on the internet without it costing us job opportunities later in life. So that's really what's going on here. Is we're going to answer as
PC
detailed,
as possible,
yes,
but also as honestly,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just see
We're
what
just going to dive in. So I'll here. You draw a card first and ask me.
Oh God. Okay.
Something.
All right.
Do your worst.
Get ready. Oh.
Nope. Oh boy.
I don't know if we can do this one.
We're off to a good start.
Right. Have you ever fooled around with someone on your parents' bed?
No. Nope. I have not. Not on my parents' bed.
Not if they're listening. Okay.
Not on my parents' bed. No. I don't even have a story to go with that one. That never would have even crossed my mind. Like I would have been so scared to do anything like that. No. It's okay. So let's do this one. Oh well. Are you able to keep a secret?
Depends.
Depends on what?
A lot of factors. Like who's telling me the secret?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a child?
Sure.
Is it an adult?
Sure.
You know, what kind of secret is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it illegal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can I benefit? Can I?
Can I benefit?
I mean, for the most part, yeah, I can. I mean, if it's important,
sure.
like, and someone comes to me and it's just kind of like, hey, I need to talk about something, or I've got something on my mind, but I don't really want, it going around or whatever. Like, yeah, I can keep a secret.
Yeah, I believe that, especially if it's like sort of a confidant style interaction. I believe that you could hold that down. So
okay,
all right, you're up.
Here we go. All right, I'm gonna go a little further back.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, could you have a long-term relationship with someone who has completely different political views than you?
Oh gosh, probably not. Like not in this era of politics. I think if we were talking about political eras from 40, 50 years ago, when there was so much less polarization and so much more, almost maybe crossover is the right word. That could be the wrong word, but like I'm thinking about sort of the John McCain eras of the Republican Party and like the early George Bush era, like HW, and where like I'm not necessarily seeing eye to eye with the policy decisions, but there was this mentality of we're still kind of all in this together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to me, that ship has sailed. And so, at least as far as the current administration is concerned, and I don't know, at this point in my life and at this point in sort of our political history, I just that sounds too hard.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not. It's more fundamental.
Yes. Yeah,
and values and So
Yeah.
anyway, okay, we didn't want to talk about politics. Jesus. Moving on. Oh God.
Okay. Have you ever puked and rallied?
Yeah, in the Steak and Shake parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Stony Brook Steak and Shake parking lot. Like a couple times, you've been the bearer of my bad news, or my bad choices and my bad decisions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you got right back on the horse and just kept.
Yeah,
on
but
going.
Never again will I drink Irish whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Yeah.
Never again.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. What else we got? Yeah. Sorry, we're having to discard some of these. If you're not watching us on YouTube, brief silences while we discard some of these that have words that we can't say on the podcast.
Okay. Have you ever run into a former lover and not remembered their name?
Oh, no. I no. The exes that I have were all so early in my life that I was pretty connected to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got married so young, and the exes I do have are, people that in some cases are people that a couple of them still friends with,
Mm-hmm.
and so I wasn't the type that had just a long list of people, in my wake.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I was a relationship to relationship person.
yeah, I was too.
So okay.
So
Wow, we're really boring.
I know,
Okay,
yeah.
let's get something good.
Well, we're also skipping some of the really spicy
Oh
ones that we
God,
pull
because
up. So
they're
yeah, can't say that. Yeah, I'm just gonna show this to you so you can react to it. But yeah, so for the ladies and gentlemen listening, so here's part of what's happening that we're also editing out bits and pieces of is we're drawing cards that are too spicy for our main feeds.
YouTube and
Yes,
and
we'll
all
get
that.
flagged and in trouble, and we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to set aside some of these cards, and we'll incorporate them into our Tequila Tuesday premium content on Substack.
Yes.
And boy, that's going to get it. It's going to get wild.
You're gonna learn more than you want
yes,
to know.
you
about
absolutely
us.
are. Yeah. Okay, this is a little weird, but I'm fascinated. Would you eat a human meat burger
Oh God.
for $5,000?
No.
Me
No,
either.
Maybe 500 million.
Right. Yeah. But
Maybe.
for $5,000,
Maybe.
like that's
No.
just not anywhere near enough money for me to consider something.
I mean, we
that
couldn't
weird.
even go to Disney on that.
I know this isn't even Disney money.
And you want me to eat people?
Right. Like I don't.
Do I know? Do I know it's human meat?
That's a good. The card itself doesn't specify, but I would
like,
say yes.
knowingly, and I just got done watching that whole Dahmer series.
Yeah, so cannibalism is really on the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was part of my like Halloween
Mm-hmm.
festivities. watching Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
Would you cut off one of your ears for $500,000?
Oh man, no, because I not for that amount of money, because I rely on my ears for music and as a source of income. I mean, even when I'm doing like technical work and things like that, the audio portions are still really important.
Yeah, but I feel like you could still hear.
Yeah, maybe so, but it would impact like you'd be surprised at how much the tissue of your ear actually matters to how much detail you can hear. And so I would do this, but not for
$500,000. That's a house.
Yeah, and I don't know. Make it 5 million, and I'm in, because at 5 million, I don't have to work again.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
That removes the liability. So I'm negotiable with that card. Like it's not a hard no, but that number's not going to be enough. So yeah, because I'm partial to my ears. Okay, here we go. For $200, would you tell a mother that their baby was ugly?
Probably. I can be savage. Do I like know this mother? Like again,
Yeah.
there's so many. This is the problem. We're like
Right.
analysts,
Right, exactly.
You know,
we
and so
want the
it's like,
caveats here and the context.
Like, sorry, I'm a business analyst. Like,
Right.
I need all the information.
Right.
Yeah, I'd probably do it.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this one. Do you think you're the most attractive person in the room?
No.
Oh, well, that was fast. Is Leia in here? Okay. Well, I did get complimented on my hair today.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Okay.
I get compliments on my hair all the time. So okay. There is a swear word in this one, which I'm going to bleep out just so YouTube doesn't get mad, but I am going to use this card. So, would you accept $100,000, but every time you go outside for the rest of your life, a bird shits on your head? I just wear a hat.
For the rest of your life, though. 100,000 every time you go outside. Nah,
No,
no.
I just
These we need inflation numbers,
right. Are these 2025 figures?
right?
Like it seems like
These numbers are too low.
yeah.
I mean, like we don't even play the Powerball unless it's 500 million or
Right.
more.
Yeah, exactly. That's our running gag is we
Yeah,
only start playing the Powerball when it's worth our time at
right.
$500 million.
Screw that 200 million.
Right. But also even at 500 million the cash payout's like 230 million or something like that. And
Something
then you're paying
insane.
taxes on that. And so anyway, we don't need to do Powerball analysis for you here, but it's yeah, for 100 grand I would do it. I would probably do it if I was permitted to walk outside in a hat every single time I walked outside.
But that's
and
for
then
the rest of your life. You're gonna get like 75 and still dealing with bird shit. Like,
yeah, that's
and
fair.
you will have already spent that 100
Oh,
grand.
I
Like,
mean, I could spend it today.
no. Mm-mm. Okay. Would you accept 500 grand per year,
Oh, you have my attention.
but randomly once a year, a stranger will punch you in the face?
Yes, all day, yes. Because, I mean, odds are sometimes that stranger is going to be a sizable human being, but I'm also a sizable human being. And so,
Do you get to punch back?
I mean, honestly, I don't, for $500,000 a year, I don't feel a need to.
No. Sorry, did I say that wrong? 5,000 per year.
Well, 5,000 per year? Oh, nah. Maybe. Like, for 5,000 a year, I like my odds of, getting to like absorb a punch from a random human. But also in the spirit of us asking the follow-up question, like, is this a large human being? Is this a martial arts trained human being? Like what,
Mhm.
there's caveats, but I think overall, I'm
And
a
can you
pretty big
block it?
dude.
Like if you block it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if I used my ninja skills
Yeah.
and just blocked it with my nunchucks
Yeah.
and then then it's not an issue.
You're in like a work event and people are like, why do you have nunchucks in your belt? You're like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. You don't need to know. No, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think I'm down, but it's mostly because I feel like my size works to my advantage. So,
Right? Now you're just cheating.
yeah, I am because I keep pulling cards.
Or you're cheating at the game that we just made up the rules to.
Right. I'm cheating at the game that we are creating as we go. Yeah. Okay, so would you shave off your eyebrows for $1,000?
Yes, because they're tattooed on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be an easy yes
Uh-huh.
from you because you'll shave them off, collect $1,000, and in like 3 weeks, they're back anyway, and you got the tattoos to cover for you.
Pretty
So,
much.
yeah,
Okay.
that was pretty easy.
Yep. Ooh. Would you keep working at your current job if you won a year's salary in the lottery?
Yes. And I would because, for starters, I really enjoy what I do. And honestly, a year's salary, I mean, that'd be a great little bump, but that's not enough money to get me enticed away from working. Like that's, we have plenty of real world expenses that I would immediately put those funds towards. And, it would do some great things for us, but I have no.
You probably just pay off a bunch of stuff.
That's
with
exactly
it,
what I
like,
would do.
And,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, so you're, yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I love what I do. I love the business that I'm in. I love the clients we get to work for.
Maybe one day this will be our salary.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that would be
With y'all's help.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Like and subscribe. So
Plug.
yeah, exactly. But I would definitely, I would definitely stay with what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun, and I get to travel some and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
pretty great. Yeah, I'm going to ask this, but I know the answer to this question. I just think it's an interesting prompt. If you were a therapist, would you sleep with your patients?
No.
Exactly.
Why?
Why? But it's an interest. Like the thing about this card though is it makes me wonder: are there therapists who are sleeping with their patients? Like, is this a thing? Is this happening? Like, I don't know. I just thought that was
The listeners should
Right.
Google
Yeah,
research.
if you're
and
sleeping
let
with
us
if you're sleeping with your therapist, let us know in the comments. That would be. We definitely want that story. And if you want to be an anonymous podcast guest and tell us this story, we can arrange that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have so many
So,
questions.
I do too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
anyway, I just that was too good not to ask.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I've never
Never
caught
even-
feelings from a therapist.
No, I haven't either. And the last therapist I had was like a 66-year-old woman.
Ooh, have you ever said "I love you" and not heard it back?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer.
Aw.
But, it was at a much earlier phase in my life. It's been quite a while, but
You're like, it was last week. Krista was mad at me because I didn't put the dishes in the dishwasher the way that she wanted them, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I love you," and she was just like, Psh.
mhm. Yeah, that could be a documentary. That's No, I'm very grateful in that she does not withhold that language. That's
Yeah.
not something that she does. But at the same time, she absolutely has ways that she prefers the dishwasher loaded.
Oh God, don't.
And our spouses are incredibly similar in that way. And we like to troll them. Sometimes both of them at the same time. That's my favorite, when we just can annoy both simultaneously. I feel like we're doing something.
Oh,
right.
I gotta tell you. Hold on.
Yeah.
So last week, Josh was out of town, so I got stuck doing the dishes. Normally, depending on how long he's gone, I will let them rot until he gets back. But I decided I'm going to do them.
What a giver.
And when he got home, he was like, "Who loaded this dishwasher?" Our daughter did it. And he was like, "Oh, well, this is really good." And I'm like, can we rewind this back so I can
Right.
record it on my phone?
Right. Yeah. I did it right.
Right?
Amazing. Yeah. So the pet peeve in my house is I am the kind of person who, when the dishwasher is 80% full, and if there's no if it's at the end of the day, I'm gonna run that thing. I'm not gonna let the dishes sit in there overnight so that I could make it 100% full sometime the next day and then run it. And I will get chastised for that from time to time, that I ran it before it was completely full. But it's it's got all the stuff in it I'm going to need tomorrow. And so I'm just going to run it so that I have the things that I need to do, to do cooking and whatever. And so that's where we kind of don't see eye to eye. I will die on that hill, apparently. It hasn't caused divorce yet, but if there is divorce, that might be the reason. So
Irreconcilable differences.
right, / dishwasher. Have you ever had your driver's license suspended?
No, I haven't had it suspended. Josh has. When he was 16.
Yeah.
He lost it for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because he was racing his friends like an idiot teenager.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't had it suspended.
So I have had my driver's license suspended. And it's juicy. So the circumstances that got me there are actually very uninteresting. But what happened as a result of having it suspended was kind of wild. So I had some tickets again. I had some tickets in the state of Texas, and the state had just implemented a point system on your driver's license. So you get so many tickets, and you accrue points against your license. And depending on how many points you had to pay additional fines over and above the actual fine for the tickets themselves.
Yeah, I think Kentucky's got that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's national.
I don't think it's national, but basically what happened was I was just unaware of these points that were getting stacked against my license because I didn't update the address on my driver's license. So I wasn't getting them sent to me. They were getting sent to a previous address. And I won't say where because it throws people under the bus, but basically the notices that were coming in the mail were getting thrown out. And I just didn't know that I had all these points against my license. Well, so I'm on my way to go see Krista while we're dating. And it was kind of on the later side. And I'm on my way down to where she was living at the time. We lived about an hour apart at this point in our relationship. And I got pulled over. And the cop goes, license, insurance, blah, blah, blah. So he goes, runs my license, and he comes back and he does the whole, "Sir, I need you to get out of the car." And I was like,
that's never a good sign.
No. And then a second cop pulled up behind him, which is also never a good sign. If you haven't had either of these things happen to you before, if both of those things happen, you are about to get arrested. Let me just tell you that, like, as consumer advice, you're about to be arrested. So, yeah, I was driving with a suspended license. I had no idea it was suspended. They arrested me. Yeah. And so I went
felon.
I know. And I wound up in the Ellis County Jail in
That sounds
Texas.
terrifying.
And I had to spend the night there because you have to wait for a judge to post your bail amount to where you can actually get out. And so because it was the middle of the night, there was no judge. And so I had to spend the night, and then the next morning
I
a
would
judge.
have been a mess.
I was just so
I'd have been
scared.
pissed, and I'd have been.
Oh, I was pissed, but I also was intimidated and just like I didn't know what I got myself into, and so I managed to wiggle my phone out of my pocket because after they arrest you, they search your car, and so I had been arrested. I'm in the back of this squad car, and I managed. This is in the days of flip phones. And I managed to wiggle my phone out of my pocket, and I had Krista's number programmed on speed dial. And so if you held down the number 2, it dialed Krista. And so I could do it by feel. So I held down the number 2, and I can't hold the phone up to my ear, but I can kind of sort of hear her. And I was like, hey, you can hear me, but I can't hear you. I've just been arrested. I'm trying to figure out what was going on because I didn't know. Even then, I didn't know why I'd been arrested. They didn't tell me until I was back, like, at the station. And
I've been like, just tell me you're running late.
Right.
Like, Jesus.
So I
don't need this elaborate tale.
Right. And so I end up just spending the night in jail, seeing a judge the next day, and they post my bail amounts. A friend of mine drove down and bailed me out. Then I had to figure out where my car was because they tow it and impound it.
Oh, jeez.
And it was a whole mess. It's the only time I've ever been arrested. And the whole ordeal was less than 24 hours. I mean, it was probably less than 18 hours, really. But it was pretty scary for some 19-year-old, you know. So anyway, that's my driver's license suspended story. So pay your fines, people. Pay your fines.
Okay, I'm going to say this one a little bit different because no one says pre-drinks. Have you ever turned up drunk to pregame?
Oh, have I pre-gamed the pregame?
Yeah.
A little. I've definitely pre-gamed before I met up with people to pregame and arrived at the pregame going, "Ooh, I better Uber." like I haven't done that in a very long time, and it was in seasons where I was much more invested in sports, and so I would, crack open something while I'm watching a game before I watch the game I really care about. But then I sort of have a few drinks throughout the course of this sports game before the one I care about. And then,
I'm really bad about pre-gaming. I don't know. I forget. And then, yeah.
Well, I'll help you. It's fun.
Teach me your ways.
I know your answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I think it's a good prompt.
Okay.
Do you get paid too much for what you do?
I don't get paid at all for what I do.
But when you're like in consulting and stuff like that, when you're doing, like, if you get brought on to do contract work for people or things like that, like, do you feel like you are fairly compensated?
This is complicated for me because I have spent so much time feeling like I have to work harder. And I think we talked about this with Krista. Like, the whole money thing just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been good at negotiating. Like, for a long time, especially early in my career, it's like to be paid to do anything, like, to me was just like a privilege. And so I accepted some really low salaries pretty early in my career because I just didn't feel worthy. Like I felt like I had so much to learn and so much experience that I needed to gain that I was surprised I was getting paid to do anything at all.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it's always been a struggle. It's still a struggle. It's even in consulting where it's just like I'm asking someone to pay me to for my experience and my expertise, and like I don't know, it's
Yeah.
very just
It's a hard thing to put a numerical value on something that feels so personal. Like I'm trying to.
especially like IP.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just yeah, I don't know. We kind of talked about that with Krista with painting.
Yeah.
When she started, she's like, "How do I even know what to charge?" Like, same.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Well, and that's where I have some advantage in that, the industry that I'm in kind of determines some of those rates for me. And so, I know what's on the high end and the low end,
Mhm.
and I try and go for the high end, but,
Mhm.
so I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little of that too, but it's difficult with how volatile the job market is right now.
Hmm.
It's really hard to tell like what people are willing to pay for certain things, and
Yeah.
like especially in consulting when you've got bids
Hmm.
and
Mm.
knowing like
Yeah.
not having a clue where you fall
Yeah.
within that. So
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say I've ever felt like I was paid too much.
Yeah.
I've probably been paid too little, but I'm never gonna like complain about that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's weird.
No,
Anyway,
that's a really fair response.
have you ever lied about your weight on your driver's license?
um, no, I don't think so. I've never been in a position where, and I think this is a uniquely male um, thing, but I've never been in a position where I felt an obligation or I felt any sort of stress about telling the truth about my weight. Like, and I know that that is not shared among all humans, and that there's plenty of people who are like, I am 110 pounds, but it's just not. It doesn't trigger my self-conscious
Mm-hmm.
mind.
I'm always like, it depends. Where am I in my cycle?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, did I eat a ton of Mexican last night?
Hmm.
Like, where am I? Okay.
Hmm. No,
It's your turn.
that's fair.
Yeah.
And
I try to stick with a pretty median number,
yeah,
like not too high, not too low. I'm like, it's somewhere in there.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah. A range is fair. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Do you think that you will age well?
No,
Really?
I'm white. We don't age well. No,
That's fair.
not at
Yeah,
all.
it all starts to unravel, at
Yeah,
some
no,
point.
I'm already starting to like.
I yeah. I I I like my odds of having a long life because when I look at my family history, there's a lot of octogenarians, people living into their 90s and stuff like that. Like, what on you for your family? Like, do people tend to kind of live well into those later years, or is that not necessarily the trend?
Well, on my mom's side of the family, I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
Um, my dad's side of the family, I think we're held together with alcohol and cigarettes. Like, yeah, and
you're just pickling yourselves from the inside.
pretty much. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't
yeah,
know. We'll see.
yeah.
I mean, I do think that everybody kind of pegs me for a little bit younger than I actually am,
Hmm.
but I think it's just because I'm so immature. There's no way she could be in her 40s. Like, she acts like a ding dong.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I think I probably get the same treatment. Being bald ages me up a little bit.
mm,
And I'm starting to get like some silvers in my beard and all of that, which Krista likes,
yeah,
I've heard that
I
it
mean,
works.
yeah.
But I definitely think that I look probably my age and I act half my age. And I never really think of myself as being 40. Like, I think of myself as still being able to do all the same things
I
I can
would
do in
peg
my
you for
20s.
late 30s if I didn't know you.
Okay,
I'd peg you
that's
for
fair.
like 38 or 39.
Okay, yeah, it's within range,
Yeah.
plus or minus a couple years.
Yeah.
But what you got?
Okay. I feel like I know the answer to this, but have you ever done a keg stand?
Oh no, I don't think so.
I
No, not
never understood the appeal of that.
I haven't either, and I definitely haven't. Like,
Not shotgunning a beer,
right.
like
But
keg.
literally getting your
Yeah,
legs
yeah,
lifted and
yeah,
doing a
yeah.
keg stand, like that's a level of college partying that I didn't really
I
do that
didn't
much.
either.
Like for starters, I don't have a college degree. Like I never finished my 4-year degree, and I know I'm sitting at the table with somebody who has like 9 degrees. But I never finished my undergrad because, and it's a long story for a different podcast episode. But basically, I had a wonderful job when I was in college, and had to make some big life changes, and I needed that job more than I needed school. And so, and I'm way oversimplifying the whole thing. There's a lot more to it, but um even the college that I went to was not really a party school. It was a very
Mhm.
engineering heavy, very intellectual school, a lot of hyper nerds like me. And, I'm sure that stuff was going on, but I wasn't invited to it.
Yeah.
And the experiences that I did have in college that were a little bit rowdy, it never really got to anything like that.
I had all my college party days after college.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely went a little harder after college
Yeah.
than I did in college. And a little bit in high school, but not very much. Sorry, Dad. No, high school was still pretty benign too. It was
Yeah,
all pretty under
same.
control. But that was, I probably had my first drink my senior year in high school, junior year, probably my junior year in high school. But now I'm just incriminating
Okay,
myself.
okay. So what was your first drink and when?
It was probably a Smirnoff Ice. Probably somewhere around my junior year in high school.
Yeah, same. Mine was probably sophomore, junior year, and we had gone to the movie theater and watched some movie in the middle of the day that no one was going to be in, and we sat in the back with a bottle of Hot Damn.
I'm familiar with Hot Damn. That's hilarious. Oh my
And
gosh.
I'm like, what is so great about this? Like
Yeah.
I don't get it. But yeah, that's the earliest memory.
But yeah, the Smirnoff Ice, and then I had this hookup in high school. This guy who had an older sibling who would buy stuff for him,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my first time having like actual whiskeys, bourbons, things like that. And that was probably more my senior year in high school. But I was faking how much I liked it back then. Like I didn't actually like it at all, but I felt like I was supposed to. So I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Peer
this
pressure.
is great. But I do remember my first real beer was a Budweiser in a bottle that was offered to me by I had been invited to hang out with these older guys that were all in a band, and they were trying to write some music, and they were bringing in other people to do like instrumentalist parts and things like that. And so I showed up to their rehearsal space, which was actually really nice, cool, and they were all a good bit older than me. I was friends with a couple of guys in there, I think from church, if I'm remembering correctly. But they had a fridge in their rehearsal space, just stocked with all sorts of beer and stuff, and they just offered me one. And honestly, in my head, I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Like, and I think I had one, but that was like my first real, actual non-Smirnoff Ice beer. And yeah,
I have a very interesting story with drinking underage that we'll get into later. But I wasn't a fan of drinking because it actually hurt. Like it
Oh,
caused pain.
mm.
And I never understood until probably about a year or so later with a particular diagnosis.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
we'll get into that.
yeah. That's a later episode, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you date somebody who makes half as much money as you do?
If they're happy, yes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one thing Josh and I talked about at length, is, kind of throughout our marriage was I don't want you to be killing yourself
Mm,
and stressed out at work for a paycheck.
mm,
I want you to be doing something that you enjoy, something that, that makes you happy or that you're happy with. And whatever that paycheck looks like, that we'll work our lifestyle around that.
Right.
And yeah, because to me, being happy, you know, not, and I'm not saying like, yes, work is stressful and all of
Yeah.
that. It's not no stress,
Right.
but I want you to enjoy what you're doing because you are there, more hours in the day than you are at home
Yeah.
and all of that. So like, I want you to enjoy what it is that you do. And, if that means that you don't make a lot, then
Right.
it's fine. We'll figure it out. I mean, I didn't grow up in an affluent home. Like we were pretty like lower middle class. And I didn't have a lot, so I don't need a lot.
Yeah.
And luckily he's managed to find a job that he really, really enjoys,
And he's good at it. Like
he's good at
it's
it.
fun watching him do what he does.
Yeah,
Like,
and he's been getting quite a few raises here lately, so that's been nice.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So.
it's a shout out to Josh. Thanks for being cool.
Yep.
I've never been terribly concerned about other people's income. Like, I don't care how much people make in general. I care way more about just are you contributing to the world around you in meaningful ways? Are you bringing some good to the environment that you're in? And I've gone through times in my life where money flowed and was abundant, and there was extra all over the place, and we could do cool, fun things without really being concerned at all about the dollar amount. And then I've been in other seasons of life, some of these pretty recently, where it was like, we just can't do some of the things that maybe we became accustomed to, and there's a scaling back element, and I've really had to figure out in my own life that that's not failure.
Yeah.
Like, and that's something that even saying it out loud is it rolls off the tongue just fine. It's a whole different thing to actually believe it.
Accept it.
Yeah. And that's, in some ways this year, that's the season that we've been in. It's like, it just hasn't been that abundance, which is fine. And I'm not complaining. I still am very happy in what I'm doing. As far as what somebody else makes, I'm not. That's not a factor for me in who I would partner myself with. I will own that I can be financially motivated. I will own that for myself. Like I do try and bring in sufficient amounts of money and all of that. Like that's a priority for me, but also sometimes it's just not available to me in the way that I want.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yep.
But, well, anyway, let's do.
All right.
All right. To bring us home, what you got?
Would you pose as a nude model for an art class?
So per my last conversation, what does it pay? Like,
okay, it pays jury duty dollars.
Oh, that's no dollars. I mean, like, yes, I would. I would also.
Would you
be like,
volunteer or would you have to be
no,
asked?
I would need to be specifically invited and be like, we need a Nordic looking bald guy with a beard, like. I'd be like, okay, like I am your resident Viking, but it's.
Would you have special requests? The temperature needs to be.
Oh yeah, there would be temperature requests. Yeah, I would need specific snacks. Do
you get to pick the poses?
I would want like veto rights on the poses. Like I don't need to pick them, but I would need the ability to be able to go, no, I'm not going to do that.
You need to do some of the like JCPenney, like.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Owen Mills.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. We for our next podcast photo update, we should go get glamour shots. And like find a studio that'll do
are
old school.
Are those even still open?
No, but we could find somewhere that'll yeah. But no, I would if I was invited by people that I knew were gonna hold their laughter, then I would probably say yes, but it would have to be a pretty specific set of circumstances. But being married to a wife that's a visual artist and she's participated in stuff like that before. And like if someone had a real like earnest artistic ask, like we want to do because most of the time in those character drawing classes it's females.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone came to me genuinely, so we're trying to get outside that usual aesthetic, and I'd be like, you just want a hairy dude with okay, I would, under the right circumstances, I'd be down, like, because okay, art is art, and I'll participate in that way if someone is doing it not as a joke.
That was a whole journey.
Yeah,
we just went on for yes.
Look, you can count on me to over-explain just about everything. But yeah,
that was a good last.
Yeah, it was. That was a great way to wrap things up. Once again, we're playing Bad Choices, and if you decide to go out and buy this game, you will find quickly that we are skipping cards, because we have
play
to keep
this with people you trust.
Yeah, play this with people that you don't have a problem getting real intimate with. But yeah, we've been skipping cards just to make sure that we're following the terms and conditions of the various distribution platforms we're on. But this is a great way to just shake things up, and this is a great idea that Pamela had. I don't want to take credit. This was her idea that I immediately kind of attached onto. So yeah, go buy it, play it with people that you're not scared to be really vulnerable with. And yeah, we will certainly do this again. But as always, thank you for jumping in with us. Please like these videos, subscribe to the channels. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, be sure and hit the download button. You can actually set things up to download automatically on Apple Podcasts. Please do that. Those numbers help us in a big way.
Yes, they do.
So anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back in your ear holes with more ludicrous content like this in no time at all.
Well, that's it for Premeditated Opinions, where the thoughts were fully baked and only mildly regrettable. If you enjoyed today's episode, congrats on having truly excellent taste in podcasts and opinions. Following us on YouTube and Instagram is a quick and easy way to support us. So if you liked literally anything about today's episode, please like and subscribe.
Also, send this to someone who needs to feel seen, dragged, or both. We'll be back next week with more unsolicited insight and emotionally responsible spiraling. And until then, please stay hydrated and behave yourself in the comments. But if you don't, at least make us laugh.